They finally let us off.
Where you been, my man? So good to see you.
How's it going?
Good. They kept supplies and stuff. And when we go on down there, we'll go into some of the rooms with original roofs, it says.
Oh, okay.
From 1200.
It's our own little Machu Picchu.
Yeah. That's a place, talk about a bucket list. One of the things I'd like to see is Machu Picchu.
I'm going there.
Are you when?
May.
When are you going there?
May.
Oh, man. Great. That's wonderful.
You want to come?
I'd love to, but that little decorating line there.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to mention. They have some sort of decorative.
Wow.
And that, I guess they can tell the dates by looking at the tree rings of see these logs sticking through here?
Oh. Mm-hmm.
I think this is the place I think she said is the original roof. We'll go into this place here. Watch your head. I don't care about no floor. No, that's quite a roof. It just looks like sort of wood that's been split and split. And then dirt or stuff poured on top of it. Huh. Whoa. Dark. Dark in here. Yeah, it's not as dark once you get in, but boy, for a minute it
Yeah, it
seems
looks
pitch black, doesn't it?
This video it works really well in low light. It can see things better in low light. Oh, is that a little window there?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously,
Yeah, I think these were where they lived.
so like a family would be here, a family would be there.
I think so.
Why did they live so close together?
I don't know that they know, but I assume for protection.
It would cost a lot to energy to make big places.
Like the Joneses live next to us, they always walk through our side, walk the other side.
They're always dropping their kids off with this.
I guess these holes are for ventilation or something.
Obviously, it'd be freaking cold in the winter.
Yes, it would be. Put some more fire. I mean, this clearly has no chimney.
No, you'd be out there.
So how in the world did they heat these damn places?
You probably didn't. You probably were warm there, and then you just.
Yeah, that looks like. Yeah, of course it's got a little rocks in it.
They all have that little cutout. And then that's like, but every time we pass by, everyone has that thing.
The other one was sort of full of rocks, but I don't know if that's a chimney. Got that wood there,
I
a
mean,
piece of
there's
wood
a cutout
across it.
above it too. Like the wall has a different shape above it. Have to go up and
Oh, it
look.
might have been a second story, because these things were multi-story, I think. Yeah, I bet you, yeah, you can see where the poles went in for the roof, and then this was the people who had the penthouse up here, I think. They were short. They were.
Well, I mean,
What they used to say, what they used to say was they did that for defense, because an enemy coming in, you're not quite as
Oh.
you're at a disadvantage when you got to stoop down to come through.
Mm-hmm.
These rocks look like they've been worked, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah. Are these original rock? Yeah.
This looks like real modern concrete to me.
Yeah. Some of it's
I
probably
think
reconstructed.
this has been reconstructed, but I don't know about really down low. Look,
Oh yeah, where they put the little.
it's shimmed there, but I think where you see this concrete, that's got to be.
That's what would be wild to see at the Machu Picchu with the rocks that are
Fit together.
no mortar, and they're huge.
Yeah, number one, they fit perfectly. Number two, they're huge. And number three, it's in a remote place. Even now, it's hard to get.
Yeah, yeah. Whoa, this is a really short one.
It's really low.
Yeah, this must be the nursery.
I'm not allowed to go over. I want to go look.
Can't go in the field.
Oh yeah. I think that first place from there, you can see up there. When we walked out, it probably yeah.
And boy, it's really tall there, so it might have been 3 stories high. This is just saying.
I haven't seen any cool signs like at Yellowstone with the kid on the geyser. That was a great graphic.
I wonder. These rooms are not very big. Although that clearly that must be filled in or something, because I'm assuming these big beams must be where a roof was.
Or the end of the roof.
Yeah.
Mm.
No reason to cut it flush. With expansion and contraction over years back in the day, not easily repaired, and just stick it out.
Mm.
This is frustrating. They have all these things numbered, but we got no way to know.
That
Oh,
doesn't
stop. Oh, wait. Never mind. Stop. Now I see. Stop 14. Large T-shaped doorways commonly open onto the plaza. The distinctive shape may have had symbolic and or functional. Well, okay. The rows of rooms parallel to the trail was added later after the original Chacoan construction. Note the differences in masonry styles between the inner and outer walls. So,
This is 7 that we walked through.
the original ceilings have widely spaced spruce, fir, or higher elevations at least 20 miles to the north. The overlying aspen poles provided a layer of thin splints of juniper or rush matting, and finally a heavy deposit of tamped mud topped this layer, forming the roof. The floor of the upper story. Stop number 8. Imagine how dark these rooms were. Well, I don't have to imagine.
Well, they had lights in them.
The small vents set high in the corners and frequently aligned from room to room allowed for limited ventilation and light. Artifacts found include broken pottery, cloth fragments, bone tools, worn fiber sandals, and bits of matting. These rooms were similar to our garages, basements, and closets, where things are stored and discarded, but daily activities do not occur. Okay.
So those were just storage units.
Stop
That's
number
why they're so
9.
small.
In this room, at least a dozen persons were buried. The dead had been carefully prepared with shrouds of feather or cotton cloth. Some were wrapped with rush matting, offerings of pottery, coil blankets, baskets, sticks, beads, and other items. Earl Morris found many burials within these rooms, in shallow pits beneath the floor, in trash mounds and storage bins, and in rooms modified into burial chambers. Some rooms contained one individual, but others became a tomb for many. Stop number 10 was an apartment house.
So interesting that humans, regardless of location and time, sort of have the same rituals with the dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like offering things,
Mhm.
burying them with things,
Mhm.
preparing them for next lives and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Why that is so pervasive in the human experience.
Yeah,
Did you
they
see
really
an
want to.
original mat of willows across the closed door and stop number 11? I didn't remember seeing anything.
I don't remember seeing stop at 11. I remember 7 and now 14.
Yeah, I think you gotta make up some reason why everyone dies. Make something. meaning to it. It would be interesting to find a culture that didn't. And they were just like, that's it. The atheist culture.
Done.
Yeah. Is there original mat of willows?
It says it's. Whoa! What?
Oh,
Slippery there. Number 11. Remember that senior cast I bought when we went to Arizona? That thing still works. Got us in here for free.
oh, wow.
Oh, here's 11. This is 11. This is where they found a bunch of burials, I think. Across the closed door. Oh, there it is. There's an original mat of willow sewn with yucca cord. They didn't have hinged doors. They used mats, hides, stone slabs, and feather blankets to block drafty doorways. Here, the mat and the framework of a small plastered poles reduce the size of the doorway. What I'll say. Man, how primitive. Where's the thermostat?
And then they seal them in with the rocks.
It says nearly 2 centuries, it's where number 12 is. They modified and used rooms in ways that met their needs. During their later years, rooms were used for storage, refuse, toilets, work areas, and burial chambers, as well as limited residence. Oh, 12, that's what this is. I don't know. I don't know about the idea of like pooping in an enclosed area. Yeah. Dangerous. Just stinky.
To orbit the strong gravitational pull.
I thought maybe trying to get a picture to match that of the Grinch. The Grinch and the Grinch's owner. Well, the Grinch's keeper, I should say.
Shooting me in 3D.
Mm-hmm.
14.
It's like those scenes where you see the spirals around the head. You're just like,
They do it in a couple ways. Like you can either have it be a motion picture, and so you put the camera like on some track that spins around with it. But another way that, like the way that they have that stop motion, so it's one scene, but you get to see it in all directions, is they have like however many cameras you want to have, 100 cameras all set up that all take a picture at the same time, and then they show it to you in sequence, like starting here, so that you see, you know, like when you see like he's about to hit somebody with the sword, and then it flips around, but his sword hasn't moved, and then it gets to a different angle, and you see the sword go through. That at one point they just have like 100 cameras that are set in a circle all go off at the same time, and then in editing it, they have the motion one, the camera matches up with it, and then they run still images for a while, and then they have another camera that picks up the action over here. So it's film editing, so you can get one moment in time from all directions. Pretty awesome.
So it says here, look along the upper stories, the 3 doorways that connect rooms at their corners. These are rare and unique to Chaco architecture. Including them in the structure is risky because they reduce the stability of the walls. So I think that's one there. I'm not sure I see the other 3. these two here look like they're right in the.
When they say stay off the walls, does that mean you don't go up 15? That's weird. Oh, there's 15, yeah. I wonder what 15. Stay off the walls, don't walk on this, we'll walk on that. There's one and there's one. Yeah. These. J&K, hi. And big penis over there. Kivas.
They're called kivas. The modern Pueblo people use them for sacred rituals and other special activities. This kiva lies portion of the earliest constructed carefully shaped stones. Laid with little mortar.
You would go in there?
Yeah,
Entered by.
a roof hatch.
So there was a roof over this.
Yeah, and they come in through that hole.
And that's why they're talking about ventilation to let the smoke out, but you could have a ritual down in there.
So the smoke went out apparently the entry hall, and then they had ventilation shafts
But
along
where's
the
the
side.
doorway? Like,
Well, you entered through the roof.
Why are you always having rituals every single night? No medicine man has had this many rituals.
Mounds.
I think they're little bushes because you see
Yeah.
the
Oh, okay.
And that hole, I think, is a ceremonial pit.
it's a waterless toilet. There's one in the bathroom over there too.
Yeah, I see. Some things never change, do they?
I don't know. This looks super modern. That's one over here.
One of about 15 giant kivas in the area, an unusually dense concentration. Great deal of organization, labor, and materials went into its construction. Most archaeologists agree it's a public building, built and used by the people of this community and others nearby for ceremonial and other community functions. This was excavated in 1921 and then reconstructed 13 years later.
So they're thinking that the pillars were these big.
Yeah, I don't know. That the coat that I brought you got. That's kind of about that. On the outside, this little sprinkler.
This kind of rock is coming from those sediment
Yeah.
layers.
Yeah, they didn't have to go a long way to get building material, did they? Two. Okay, let's see what. One, the site. This is the Great House. Unavita. Purposely located atop a natural rise, a common feature of Chacoan great houses. Practice may have made these impressive public buildings look even more impressive to the people. They began constructing this about AD 850. Holy smokes.
850.
And built continuing for more than 250 years, concurrent with Pueblo Bonito and Penasco. All three sites are the earliest of the Chaco great houses, precisely positioned along an 8-mile-long line-of-sight axis from one to another, and were connected by Chacoan roads and communication features. Unavita is the easternmost of these three early Chaco Canyon great houses. Each of these three earliest great houses is located at the confluence of a major drainage into the canyon, and their placement may represent early strategies of water control. Chacoan roads converged on Unavita from the east, southeast, and south. Was a pivotal great house linked to the surrounding Tejada Gap communities. Line of sight, 8 miles. I guess it depends on what is the line of sight, but I should think if there's not a hill in the way, you could, well, it says line of sight, so there. Neat.
Satisfied. Foggy type cloud.
Are those the thin ones?
I think the thin striped ones, and then the sort of peppery ones.
Oh, okay.
And they're called, I think strata would be more like that. These may have a different name. I'm ignorant, but there's this weird cloudy
Oh,
fog
yeah.
kind when you block the sun. I don't know.
So wild they can make such distinct shapes.
Yeah, they seem to always follow certain. We have something from 800.
Yeah, that's
ruins,
true. Yeah.
Not many anthropological things that are still around.
Oh, yeah.
Unless that gray was. This is cooler than newspaper rock. You know, newspaper rock, like, you gotta look through a telescope and they kept it, like, way far away from you.
Where's newspaper rock?
In Painted Desert.
Oh, okay.
It's amazing that
This
you
is-
can
this
see it
is-
right there.
It's right there, like, it's so close.
Look at that sun
There's
spiral.
newspaper
The
rock,
thing's.
they won't let you get close. You
Yeah.
gotta-
Well, people want to leave their own stuff on there, right?
Well, I guess that's the spirit of the times, but the problem is that they're gonna do it louder. I mean, spirit of the times meaning newspaper rock is thought to be graffiti of travelers, of
Yeah.
prehistoric travelers, because they can tell it was written over hundreds of years. There are different kinds of graffiti. So was everybody putting their, you know, Johnny loves Katie.
Maybe those fertility symbols we saw at the last one weren't really.
We should have told them that, you know, you have some petroglyphs.
Uh-huh.
So what is this creature they're drawing there with the weird antennas?
I think those are horns, probably.
I mean, the elk are clear, but what's that thing down below? The long license. Yeah.
But it.
Because there's a creature right above the guy with the shield. There's a creature, it looks like he has a large snappy mouth, you know, but it's probably someone just trying to draw a mouth. Looks like there's a wolf by the deer. Pretty cool. Maybe get on the shoulders of another guy. Get up there, and then once you're up there, it looks like you could probably sit up there relatively securely for a while. That's why that spot's been chosen. It has a
That may have been. I bet you see this sort of not colored, dark colored place there.
Yeah.
There may have been a rock hanging out from there, and that made that just a perfect spot. That's broken off in the more recent time.
It's crazy. You look at like a hole like this, and you can almost visualize. Yeah, really the only noise you ever hear is a passing plane every now and then. I heard one when we started.
You okay, Josh?
I'm just trying to hear. It's super quiet.
One of the things, I think the ancient world was very quiet overall. I think the world tends to be a quiet place. You know, I think living in cities, we're conditioned to noise being around all the time.
It's not normal.
But unless you were in like bustling ancient cities, I mean, the noise is coming from people. Minus people, generally, nature's pretty quiet.
Yeah.
Especially here, there are no trees for the wind to rustle through or anything.
Why?
I mean, that's the thing, when you go up the mountains, you hear that, you know, when it goes through the trees, that's a neat sound too. But out here, that's the thing I remember from 20 years ago, was just the profound silence.
Yeah, even a strong wind, the only sound that it would be making is when it whips across your ear. Like it
Well,
itself,
you know, it rustles through the trees. And
well, not here.
No, not
What I'm
here,
saying
that's
is
right,
If there
yeah.
was a strong wind, you would just be hearing the caverns of your
Yeah.
ears.
I guess this thing right here is what carved the canyon and what was the basis of their life in terms of having water.
So there was water running along this ridge?
I think, see that ditch, that I suspect that's the, I don't know what the name of that river is or stream, but that, I'd like to see the irrigation.
Which ditch are you talking about? You're talking about this wall that is formed all along here? Because there's another wall.
Oh, there's another, that's another, probably river or something. I wonder.
So I'm wondering, are we seeing layers getting higher, or is there an actual hole where water would have, like we can't see the other wall?
No, I think these are two separate streams. That's what I think.
So where's the other wall of this stream that we're seeing cut right here?
What do you mean the other wall? We can't see the front wall. We see it.
But where?
Oh, you think, I see what
I'm
you
saying
think you're seeing
we're
is
seeing
all you're
steps.
seeing is steps. And I'm assuming what we're seeing is the bank flat on
Right,
this
we
side.
can't see
and
the other side, but on this one, where is the other side? We would be able to see the
What?
other side of this one.
Well, we see the far side. That's what we're seeing.
So the near side would be somewhere between
No, the
this
near
rock-
side we can't.
It's just
see.
really thin.
It's real narrow. That's what. But I could be wrong about it.
You're talking
Be-
about this one just behind.
Yeah,
just
see,
beyond these
right there's
rooms?
a bridge, so you can tell there's
Oh,
a.
you're
there's
right.
There's a.
So,
You see me? There's a route. Oh no, that's where I want to put this one. you can see some. This you can see the mud here. I think. I don't want to touch it. What it looks like. I don't know if that's mud there or if that's concrete.
That doesn't look like concrete.
It doesn't to me either. I don't even. And hit.
This all looks like the same stuff as
This
whatever
is
this is.
concrete. You think this is concrete? I don't think so.
They'll run darker gray. Or copper or something, and so you'd have a band of guys probably going across, a group of 3 or 4 would be the thing, and then you're camping out along that line, and so you're probably hiking for a major portion of the day, and humans are humans, and so there was the guy that he used sarcastic humor, and he was a jokester and that sort of stuff, but a large period of your time would be walking, and so if I were to make a movie about prehistoric man walking across, like, you'd have to make sure to coach the actors to act human. Like, you would have a stick and you'd be whacking the heck out. Well, the way the walk was going, it kind of felt like the whole thing was covered. Yeah. Thinking small primitive.
This looks like this would be dirt down here, doesn't it?
Just trying to figure out. This is all perfect. This isn't perfect. Why would you choose to reconstruct some areas and not others, and what is reconstruct?
Yeah. Don't know. Just stabilize like the top. Clams. I believe, folks, we're going up through the crack.
All right.
For me,
It's a great excuse to catch my breath. Isn't it? Balance, gentlemen.
everybody think twice about every step.
Yeah. Well, here at least you can't fall sideways. Right.
Wow, this is pretty cool.
Greg.
super cool.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, and here you are. Wow. Yes. Birds. 15 minutes.
Hey, they have these same markers. I think maybe we're in on it. Let's see anything. So weird. If that wasn't a cliff, I wouldn't have any. I would be totally confident that I could stand here.
I know, my knees are starting to.
But then as soon as you get close to a cliff, you're like, oh, I don't know. You can't go right here. So I'm just like, oh.
That's the way I feel. I just feel this kind of.
Shouldn't we set up a rock and do a dance in front of the cliff or something? Set up the camera on it.
All right, we only got 10 more minutes, so we'll do about 8 minutes of dancing.
I got to do my twist.
Greg's got this one move where something like kicks his leg out or something like that.
I'm not doing enough arm movement. Woo, woo.
In the middle of that.
That's
a happy Monday.
Okay.
Nice, that's gonna
Okay,
that's be
there
plenty
goes
of good
down
footage
into the annals of history.
to edit.
Go Chaco. Get busy.
Circles are definitely cool.
Right.
Oh, I see one. Yeah, that in there. But then, where's the next one? I guess go back there and look at footprints. 'Cause we're clearly off the beaten path.
Sand is so soft.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one.
Get through here.
But there was a sign down there saying that they're trying to restore the natural vegetation, like the whole.
I see.
Whatever.
Yeah, they really have managed to make trails with a very low impact visually. Times too low. Uh-huh.
What's going on here?
That's
Oh, wow. The pottery?
it looks like pottery or something. It's totally what it looks like. I don't know if it's ancient or not.
Yeah, this is not. There's some of those things like you guys found.
Yeah.
Some people just left them here.
Everyone's
Down
assuming that there's
30-foot
something.
wide path roadways. People came with goods. Oh, maybe. That's the kind of light that supposedly gives you better pictures. You get all these shadows and
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's a good time of day. Especially for black and white.
okay, where's the next pile?
Are you the fearless leader? This is the trickiest one.
I know
Bro.
this is the scariest part. It didn't seem as bad going up.